Bombas makes getting active more comfortable with socks that support your sport, breathable t-shirts that keep you from overheating, and underwear made to move with you. Bombas are designed for every activity, running, golfing, yoga, you name it. Go head to toe Bombas in lightweight t-shirts designed to feel cool against your skin, underwear so airy and breathable you may forget you're wearing any, whoa, scandalous, and socks designed to make every workout more comfortable. Bombas are a gym bag staple that are made to last, and if they experience any wear and tear, Bombas will replace them for life. Socks, underwear, t-shirts are the number 1, 2, and 3 most requested items in homeless shelters, and that's why for every comfy item you purchase, Bombas donates another comfy item to someone experiencing homelessness. Bombas' 100% happiness guarantee means you're covered for life. Reach out anytime to their happiness team for easy returns, exchanges, or replacements. Go to bombas.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 20% off your first purchase. This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
Hello and welcome to another week of This Might Get Weird in rainy Seattle.
Rainy Seattle. You know what's so funny? Even as you were saying this might get weird, I was like, is that the title of our podcast?
You told me this the other week. You were like,
you told me when we signed off last week after we signed off, you were like, is that how I do it? Was that the right phrase?
I'm so used to just, it comes naturally. And I think on last week's podcast, I said like, well, this got weird. And then I was like, is it that got weird? What do I say?
I often, and this is what I said to you, forget what the actual title of our podcast is when I'm in conversation with people. I'm like, this might get weird. And then I kind of, is it this or that? Mm-hmm. And so I just mumble it. I swallow the first word and then I say the rest of
them. It's TMGW. Don't ask me what it stands for.
Yeah, but it's raining in Los Angeles.
You guys are so sick of hearing us talk about the rain, but you know what? We're going to talk about the damn rain.
It's happening.
And it won't stop. And poor little Beansers. She's sitting here on the couch. We walked today. It briefly stopped. She's 2 inches tall, I'd say. You know, she's about the size of one of those bunny peeps.
Yeah.
She's a little 2 inches tall.
Yeah.
She has no concept of puddles.
Oh, she doesn't.
She walks through she goes across a puddle like someone is coming onto the shore for an attack. She's Normandying every single driveway. I'm like, Beans, you're soaking wet. Your legs are gonna freeze, and she has no concept.
Doesn't give a shit.
Nope. So anyway.
Wow. I mean, it's just her protest. She's just emotionally numb to the actual environment.
She says, "You're gonna take me out in this. You're gonna have to dry me off, bitch."
Hey, we're currently making stew back at the Helbig Morgan household. I can't wait. It was very difficult to leave a second ago because it smelled amazing.
The aroma of a stew on a rainy day. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Grace came in and our friend is coming over after this to have dinner here. And I was like, do you want to stay? And she was like, can't do. We've got stew.
Exactly. I had bumper stickers. I passed them out. It was great.
What kind of stew are we talking? Tell me. You know.
What are the kinds?
I'm sorry, but I'm seeing
beef
us
stew.
I'm seeing us in the little monitor of the camera, and me being like, "Tell me about this stew." We are Delicious Dish from SNL.
Elliot and I were talking about. At one point, he stirred the stew and came into my office.
That wasn't a metaphor.
Yeah. And I was looking up stuff for the podcast, and he was like, I feel like we should have put more meat in the stew. And I was like, well, we have extra, and we thought it was too much. So you can always put it in a pan and then put it in. He's like, no, it'll be enough meat. And I was like, this is the most wholesome conversation two adults are having.
I love it.
Now.
So it's a beef stew. Did you find a recipe somewhere?
Yeah, Elliot just found a recipe. He's the one that actually, when we first started dating, I remember got really into and really proud of the fact that he knew how to make stew in a what are they called?
Crock pot.
Yeah. And the first time that we had gone up to Big Bear for a romantic weekend, he made stew.
Stop it. That's a keeper.
Like, look at this man. We watched March Madness. We made stew. It was cute and strange and sweet.
Wait, and so this is like your anniversary stew. It's March Madness again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
this is like a tradition at this point.
I guess, yeah. But it's also now, as soon as it rains, it's either Super Stew.
Well,
your choice.
Super Stew, the new game show. Yeah. Two things. One, I think it's so funny when men named Stuart go by Stu.
Well,
Like,
yeah, there's also
Stew? You chose Stew?
Isn't that the dad from the
Family Guy?
Rugrats?
Rugrats. Oh.
And Stewie from Family Guy.
But also they changed, like, I don't know. If
Disco Stew.
if it was
from
Stew-
Simpsons.
Art, I would go by Art more than I would Stew.
Oh, okay.
Can Art be short for? Can
Art be short for Stuart?
Can Art be short for Stuart? That's my limerick in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so that was number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, I think I had more things about this stew to ask, but I'll go with this one.
Yeah.
Do you do the stew over like a rice or just stew purist?
Either way, I like it over rice.
Yeah.
I grew up with beef stew over rice. So that feels more normal, even though there's already tons of potato in it. So it's like just adding more carbs to the situation. But I love it. I love when the gravy gets into the rice.
The
It's
gravy
delicious.
and the rice.
And we also are going to make some bread with it. Like
Wow.
garlic bread. Yeah. So it's
okay.
it's going to be the heartiest meal. Both of us are going to fall asleep face first.
I'm so
in our
happy for
bowls.
you.
Yeah.
I have a distinct memory from third grade involving stew
Everyone does, I feel like.
that gives me such cringe for tiny Mamrie.
Oh no! Are we allowed to know this story?
Yes.
Is this your villain origin
No,
story?
no. I was just so stupid. Okay, so we had like the class. It was called, what was it called? Something.
Math.
AG, academically gifted.
Yeah, we had reach.
Okay, yeah. So it'd be like twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, me and some of the smart kids go and like basically have to do extra work.
Yeah, we had to put on mock trials.
Ooh. So this was third grade. So they weren't having us do much. You know what I mean? And I remember small room and the only reason why I did anything was for a scratch and sniff sticker.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like Mrs. Hauk. Was that her name? No. She had a different name. Her husband owned a department store. Okay, Mrs. Brendel.
Mrs. Bloomingdale.
Mrs. Nordstrom. It was a local one, Mrs. Brendel's. We each got like a country and had to do, you have to make your poster. You have to talk about the traditions. And then everyone brought in like an iconic dish from that country.
Yeah, I feel like this was something we did in elementary school and or a trope that I've seen in movies for kids that people
Honestly,
did in
I would do
elementary
this
school.
as a potluck.
Yeah, okay.
Like, let's have like like for an
like
Olympics
Epcot.
potluck. That'd be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. But so anyway, I honestly don't remember what country I had, but I remember it being like, it must be homemade, mother. Like... we really, I wish I could remember. Who knows? I probably like went for Japan or something since we had
you don't
exchange
remember the
students.
food you had to make.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But I remember there was another girl, Jennifer Redding. And I remember she had some type of Eastern European country. I don't remember, but theirs was like beef stew or goulash or something. And, she does the whole thing and they're passing out. And this was like one of the last probably months I ate meat. But I remember I was eating it and I was like, this stew is amazing. I remember just being like, whoo, I gotta say something. This
Even as a third grader, you were like, hats off to the chef.
Whoa. So I remember raising my hand and going, please, compliments to your mother. Who made this stew? And she goes, Dinty Moore, which is a brand of canned stew. And I didn't know that. And I go, wow, he's good. And I remember later my friend Lauren being like, Dinty Moore is like Campbell's Mamrie. And I was like, huh? And I just remember.
And then she was a vegetarian for the rest of her life.
But me just being like, oh, you can tell it's homemade. Like
a third grader. I gotta ask, who made this? She goes,
it's Dinty Moore. I go, Dinty. Ooh.
You've always been a food connoisseur.
I mean, she must have been so mad. I was down there being like, the gravy. She's just being like, it's canned soup, you asshole. Shut up about it.
So
I legitimately was blown away.
You by accident called her out for cheating.
Yes.
While also looking like an idiot for not knowing. Yes. But people thought you were probably being a bitch.
It's like if someone showed up with Oreos and you were like, how did you make these? Where did you get the recipe?
What's the recipe?
She's like, I scooped out canned stew and we reheated it in the teacher's workroom.
Woman is somewhere now being fully traumatized and not sure why.
It kills me. Whenever someone talks about beef stew, I get that immediate memory.
Wow. Well, I'll think of you fondly later this evening.
Oh my gosh.
The stew.
Oh wait, okay, so you had a big old weekend.
I did. Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Elliot and I went to see Weezer. Mm-hmm. Elliot's favorite band.
Wow, that says so much.
Yeah, I think it does, and I'm not quite sure what it says.
I think he's like intellectual, and I feel like,
there's
sweet.
We went to this festival in Tampa because I wanted to get Elliot concert tickets to Weezer at some point, and that was the only thing I saw back in December.
One of those only festival years for them.
Yeah, and now it looks like they're doing more like shows on their own, but anyway, we went to this festival. It was super fun. I had no idea or expectations of what it was going to be like. Couldn't tell you last time I went to a music festival other than maybe that time you, me, and Jocelyn got a brand deal with Wendy's to go sell salads at a music festival in Chicago. I had that thought on the flight out to Florida this weekend that I was like, oh my God, yeah. One of the weirdest brand deal situations we've ever been a part of, where we just had to take pictures.
We were literally women laughing into salads.
We were women laughing into salads in the middle of a music festival on a baseball field.
I remember it so distinctly because we saw Tribe Called Quest, which is one of my favorite groups, and it was amazing. But also, I just remember going, savor this moment. You're getting paid to go eat Wendy's in Chicago at a festival. I mean, like, RIP those days.
I know. There's not a single thing wrong with it other than it was completely random and strange.
So strange.
And even everyone that we had talked to at that festival that was coming up when we were at the Wendy's tent was like, what is this? And we were like, we don't really know.
We're doing a meet and greet for Wendy's.
Happy to be here. They got strawberries in that salad over there. Why don't you go try that out?
I remember you brought the Wendy's deal and you were like, and we were going to bring Mamrie on. I was like, I swear to God, if they don't have
two of your friends,
if they don't have anything without me and I lose out on this Wendy's. Oh, geez Louise.
But that's what I thought about going out to this music festival, because I was like, dang, when was the last music festival I went to?
It's an ordeal.
Yeah. And so that's why I was like kind of nervous that maybe it would be total shit, or that because it's not a Weezer show, they had an opportunity to like, if something came up, they couldn't do it, like I was like, are they going to bail last minute because of something? I don't know. But it ended up being great. We flew into Tampa on St. Patrick's Day. So Tampa got rowdy and loud.
Wow. Is it like a big...
Where we were. We stayed at the same hotel that we were at when we did our show there last year. Hotel. Super fun, but we're right in the middle of Ybor, I guess is how you say that neighborhood.
Ybor City. It's like the Cuban area.
Yeah.
But I saw an Instagram story where it was just Elliot peeking to see how it was so loud it was, and being like, oh, okay, this is a definite I stayed in Friday night and like talked to no one. You were checking the loudness of the street.
We
like,
were checking old. We were like, it was like we were inside of people's cars with their sound system so loud, and they were like parked because traffic. I was like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
The music was so loud. And then I was also like, wow, I'm in a different era of my life now. Look at this. But then the next day was super fun. Pitbull was at the festival.
I love Pitbull.
He was fantastic. He was definitely seemingly out of place at this baseball themed music fest that had a lot of like...
It was themed?
It was called Innings Fest. And I still didn't fully... There was literally... bands playing on two stages intermittently, and then on a third really small area, random baseball players like Wade Boggs were being interviewed.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what they should have? Did they have? My question is, did they have any dunk tanks? Because that would be really fun for a professional baseball player to be in a dunk tank and make fun of your pitches.
Oh, that'd be great. I know. I didn't see any of those.
Innings.
I think someone was saying that they were promoting the spring training, which I still don't fully understand what that had to do with Weezer.
I feel like Tampa might be one of the like hub cities of spring training, like Arizona is and like Tampa is or something. And I could absolutely have made that up.
I mean, that sounds right.
Okay, cool.
It seemed like was the one that was the most concerned about why this theme was happening.
No one knew what it was even called.
But people were dressed up like on stage in baseball, like shirts and stuff in different bands. And I was like, I don't understand this. But then Pitbull got there, and Pitbull just did his own thing. He brought his own DJ, and he would leave stage occasionally, let his DJ play. He had full dancers that were, I think they might have been in like old timey but modernized, like female bedazzled baseball uniforms.
Like we go in like League of Their Own style?
Yeah, but like
Shiny.
J-Lo looking versions of it. He also played like every song that he does with other singers, but without the singers.
That is always the craziest when you're like, the majority of your songs are duets.
Yeah.
So was it just like a backup singer would take over?
No, he would sing, and then he also had just like giant videos playing behind him that almost seemed just like commercials for Pitbull. Like it was montages of everything he's ever done, like music videos, but then also just like clips of him being interviewed at different things.
It was his reel?
Yeah, like the whole time. I was like, I really appreciate these Pitbull commercials playing behind Pitbull while he's performing this whole time.
That is, I mean, did they just not have like a crew so that you could see a close up of him?
I think no, they had that too.
Oh.
So this was what was playing like behind the stage of him. This was, I think, part of his like set design. Like Imagine Dragons closed out the day, which was really interesting. Like it was very cool to see them live, and they had a lot of like theatrical kind of environmental experimental videos playing behind them.
Well, Imagine Dragons, the guy is blowing up because people are realizing he's
what he looks like,
conventionally attractive.
Also, I thought that they were from like the Netherlands. They're from Las Vegas. And they are.
Of course they are.
Yeah. And they are super into you believing in yourself.
They're a little too inspirational powerhouse for me.
You would have felt the cringe. But they do this. They do some really cool like visuals behind them that are like very kind of dreamscapey, and that part was really cool. But then like there was also like a lot of children. This is a very family friendly kind of music festival.
I think the dragons are good for them.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think, but they were also kind of surprised. They're like, there's a lot of young people in the audience, and then he had this like moment talking to like a 7-year-old up front. He's like, you gotta believe in yourself. And I was like, Elliot, we gotta believe that we can go to the Uber thing right now.
I'm dead, because the thing is, if you have a lot of cool visuals, then like let me eat drugs in peace. Don't give me a pep talk, and don't you dare point out there's children in the mix.
Please don't remind me that the kids are still here at 10:30 at night. So watched a few of their songs. Elliot loved Weezer, so it was very fun to see him loving his favorite band.
That's always like a little nerve-wracking when you're with someone and it's their favorite, and you're like, are we gonna leave? And you're gonna be like, I mean, I wish they would have played anything off my favorite album.
He was surprised how many like deep cuts they actually played.
Nice.
I didn't recognize a lot of their songs. Also, Rivers grew on me completely because he's like the most awkward, no stage presence
Rivers
person.
Cuomo.
He said at one point, very minimal talking to the audience.
Okay.
Which I appreciate. So an hour and 15 minutes of playing straight music. I was like, this is great. But he did say at one point, you guys ready to get Weezered?
Wait.
I was like, I love this little nerd running around. But he's like 52.
Yeah.
And he performed for an hour and 15 doing everything, running all around. And he's just like awkward, but it's like not a shtick. So it's like
it's genuine.
Yeah.
Wow. Should Elliot have a podcast where he breaks down every Weezer song called This Might Get Weezered?
He would, and he would do it immediately. He knows so much, and he tries to like play it cool, but it was also really fun just to see like I was the outlier in that group of everyone watching this show and everyone else around me. It was just like so pleasant. All these grown men having a very good time without it being like aggressive or violent.
I don't see you at a Weezer show being a dick. Like you like to read and listen to records and like partake in experimenting with new scotch.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone seemed like just kind of cool to be there.
They got Weezered, man. Did you buy any merch?
Yeah, well, we bought Innings Fest sweatshirts because it was cold.
Oh, they'll get you.
I know.
They'll get you with that.
I wish I was able to buy merch for fun merch. We were just freezing, so we needed to get whatever sweatshirts they had, and none of the bands were selling sweatshirts, only t-shirts. So we now own 2 identical Innings Festival zip-up hoodies that were $75 each.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
That's more expensive than ours, and I felt weird about how expensive ours were.
I know. I'm a big donator to spring training in Tampa, Florida.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going back where it's warm again.
Yeah, you're
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Wow.
I'm taking a red eye, but it stops in Atlanta. So
are you taking the same? You're going back to the Cayman Islands?
I'm going back to the Cayman Islands, but I'm not taking Cayman Airways, who likes to judge how much you drink.
Did you ever think in your life that you would be going this much
to the Cayman Islands 3 times in 3 months? No, absolutely not. I thought twice only because it's like I don't want to go more than a month and a half without seeing Chip. You know what I mean? So I knew it like twice would probably happen. But I'm going back because, I mean, I won't get all into it, but I need to go back and I'm like, all I'm doing is writing. Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, would I like to do that in front of crystal clear waters and mojitos and chill? Yeah, it's fucking Seattle here. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's all good. But no, I have a layover and I haven't done one of those in a minute. But I remembered on the way back from the islands, which was literally like a week ago.
No, our
crazy.
Podcast last week was remote because you were in the Cayman Islands.
Well, the thing is, I'm kind of like, at what point is customs going to stop me and be like, let's check your butt.
Yeah,
what are you bringing into this island?
We need access to your bank account and your butthole, please, ma'am.
Butthole. But on the way back, like nothing happened. It was all good. I mean, besides, always the flight attendants, whatever. Yeah. But there was this woman who was sitting beside me and she just had glasses and she had like articles ripped out of different magazines about the environment.
Okay.
Like she was just like, it was like she was studying, like she was like very shuffling through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the drinks come around. I'm like, I'll take a Cabernet,
Yeah.
And she goes, do you have root beer?
Ooh.
I've never heard of anyone order root beer on a plane.
Especially an adult.
They go, no, we don't. Anything else? She goes, a V8.
Wow.
I was like, what a pivot.
Wow.
What a pivot. And they said, no, we have Bloody Mary mix. It'll be a little spicy. She goes, I'll just take a hot tea. And I was like, this is the weirdest...
What's the
craving?
Yeah, what's the thing you want out of your liquid experience?
Yeah, do you want like something fun and nostalgic like root beer? Yeah. Do you want something a little healthy like V8? Or do you want to just say, life sucks, give me a hot tea?
Give me the hardest thing for you to make on this flight right now. Thank you.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny. And then when they came around and she gave back her glasses, another thing I've never heard. Do you recycle?
Oh, well, she's looking at the
she was really holding tight.
But wow, I've never thought. I mean, let's assume she's an environmentalist. Is there something about root beer?
Mental, all right.
Is there something about root beer that we should be aware of?
I'm sorry. Does A&W donate to rainforest preservation?
Right. Are they doing something that we don't know about?
I thought it was weird, and I just had to say it.
Well, I realized on this last couple of flights that I think I'm holding my pee too much on airplanes that I'm doing permanent damage to my innards. Because
I do that in my sleep.
I used to, I guess, love sitting by the window, obviously, for editing and stuff on planes. It feels like you have a little bit more privacy than being on the aisle. Now I got to sit on the aisle because I always have to pee on planes. Yep. And before, I think I was just like drinking enough alcohol that I was wildly dehydrated, so I never had to pee. And so now I get this combo of having to pee, but then also feeling like I don't want to bother the person next to me, so I'll just hold it. And then it gets to a point where every time this has happened, where there's turbulence, and so by the time I'm at the point where it's a stressor and like it's questionable and I need to go, then it's like, oh, there's turbulence. We have to ask the flight attendants to take their seats for a little bit. And then I'm like, I did this to myself.
I'm like that. I think we've talked about this before. I'm like that on road trips with wanting the ideal exit.
Oh, yeah,
where I will hold my pee for 100 miles. And it's like, just piss at a McDonald's. Who cares? But for some reason, I'm just like, but I'm going to find one that'll have the clean bathroom, the ideal snack, the this and that. Yep. That's not, sometimes they trick you. You exit and then it's like, it's 0.7 miles that way. It's like, I need to see it from the road. And then before long, I have a bladder infection.
Yeah, this trip especially, it happened on the way out and the way back. And I was like, I gotta really figure this out because the only person that's suffering is me in this situation.
But however, I don't know if this has been studied, but I do the same thing in my sleep. I'll incorporate it into my sleep. When I have to pee really bad and I'm asleep, it always becomes sexual in my dream.
Oh, really?
I think I have to pee so bad that my undercarriage is like, what's up?
What's gonna wake her up?
Like I wake up horny.
Sexy in this dream.
I wake up and it's just like someone's like knocking on my pelvic bone, like, bitch, get up.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to have a sex dream, don't pee. Drink a lot of water before you go to bed.
Oh, okay. I think that science does say that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of science.
Yeah.
I uploaded a friggin' brand deal onto my Instagram this week.
I saw that.
I felt like it was 2006. I was rapping.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
One, because I was really proud of you.
Thank you so much. I was nervous.
Well, you said this earlier this year. We both kind of talked through some of our resolutions and you wanted to embrace more of the cringe and like also just embrace like doing it, making shit, putting shit out there.
But also the health of it all, because I told you all about my Prenuvo scan. But then this thing I got, and it's called the Zozo Fit.
Fun name.
Isn't it fun?
What is it? Do you know what it means at all?
No idea.
Okay, well, it's just fun to say.
It's very fun to fly. Like, I think you could have like a quirky character in a movie called Zozo.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a dance mom's child.
You're right. Okay, there it is. No, but it's basically this suit, and it's like 2 pieces, but it makes you look like a superhero. Like it's fully silver.
Yeah.
And it's got on it all these little sensors. And then you have like a QR code in the back, and you scan it, and you download the app, and then literally it gives you like a phone holder. You put it up, and then a voice is like, stand back 6 feet.
Yeah.
Let's check your arm stance. And then it's like, turn to 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
So it scans your whole
3
body.
o'clock. So you do all 12.
Yeah.
And then it literally shows you like the craziest, like,
rendering of yourself.
girl.
I know that part. I did see the visual that you used before.
Oh, I used someone else's scan.
I know that. But even that, it's like, oh, wow. You know, you don't know what you look like from behind.
Right. No. But it was really cool because I was like, oh, that wasn't as bad. Or I'd be like, oh, my calves are different sizes. Oh, and then so I did that when I first got it.
Yeah.
And then I've been like trying to be really good because you guys know my fit by 40 vibe.
Yep.
And I had like lost a half an inch off my waist.
Nice.
And like off my butt and like all that. So it was like just cool to be like, oh, I don't like have to, it's not dependent on a number.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I've really been doing it. So I've really enjoyed it. It's called Zozo Fit.
That's fun. Because also,
Go use my code.
I know people work with trainers or people would
Right.
use like actual measuring tape, but I feel like that's not as accurate as this would be.
Also, the idea of someone coming at me with a tape.
With a measuring tape?
Like when we used to get gigs, remember they would be like, oh, and send your measurements.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what am I
How do
supposed
I
to-
measure myself?
What do I, I'm not a seamstress.
Every time I've tried to measure myself for breast size, I'm like, I'm doing this wrong.
Absolutely. So anyway, it was really cool and I'm feeling good.
Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of feeling good, I went up to I love that I'm being like, I'm getting healthy. You try this fitness suit that I got. It's only $98. Also, when I was at the liquor store earlier.
It's balanced.
Yeah.
It's balanced.
But I have the little one on the corner, and I was honestly going up there for a roll of paper towels and a CBD soda.
Nice.
Because I was stressed out about something. But I went up there, and it's the little corner store that I've told you about. Like, I love this little old man that works there. And when I first moved to this neighborhood, like, remember I went up there to buy like a bunch of booze for a party and I didn't have my wallet, and he was like, just come tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cheers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether to be sad that you trust that I'll be back here. Yeah. So, definitively. But anyway, sometimes he's like so friendly, and then other times he just kind of doesn't make small talk at all. And I've always just been like, people have different moods, whatever. Yeah. Today I went up there. They're twins.
What? You got parent trapped.
It's 2 old men that look exactly the same.
Wow.
They're twins.
Wow. And
I couldn't believe it.
Man, and that I guess it's good that you weren't like, are you okay? One day.
No, because one of them will be like, take a candy. You know what I mean? And then the other one will just be like, yes.
Good cop, bad cop.
Bye. And I was just like, man, this guy is moody. And I was just like, twins.
Do you know which one now? How did you find out they're twins?
They were standing beside each other.
Oh, okay.
I walked in and I was like, what? My mind is blown. And of course, immediately one of them was like, hello, how are you doing? How's your day? And I was just like, that's the one. And then the other one was just like restocking candies. And I was like, and that's the one.
You should be like, so what days are you here?
Yeah, it blew my mind. I've lived in this neighborhood for 8 years.
Wow, amazing.
I immediately texted Chip. I was like, it's twins.
That's great. Man, I was watching videos of Taylor Swift's opening Eras tour.
I mean,
show.
Does it look good?
It looks so good.
Really?
It looks so. She's doing 44 songs. It's like a 3-hour show.
44 songs? I don't know 44 songs in general.
Same. There's this one video that's going viral. She literally dives into the stage. It looks like she's diving like under the stage. She dives, you lose her. From up top, the visual of the entire runway looks like she's swimming under the stage, comes out the other side. And it's unbelievable.
Oh my God.
I have no tickets.
No.
I want to get tickets. They're so fucking expensive.
They're so expensive. I'm getting really mad at this whole Ticketmaster monopoly. Like I really don't like it. Wow.
I know, but it's getting closer. I might.
When is she here?
She's in LA, Inglewood, at the SoFi Stadium in August, I think.
Okay.
So it's still time for me to figure it all out. But I was looking at these videos earlier today and just being like, oh, damn, this looks really great.
Well, two things. One, like I would have a blast, but I'm like comfortable not going just because I haven't paid attention the last few albums. Two, I really wish I'd known how to do my makeup better when we met her backstage the first time. I fully look like a fuzzy toe. Yeah. Being hugged by Taylor Swift from behind. And three, sometimes when I like see those tour dates and like hear that, all I go is like, man, I can't imagine like how exhausting that is. But then I go, I've never had that carrot stick of how much money she's gonna make.
Oh my God, she had
like that'll help you.
What was it? 69,000 people at the first show. Like broke the U.S.
in the
record.
Glendale, Arizona, right?
Yeah, broke the record in the U.S. for most attended female.
Really?
Live. Yeah, Madonna I think was the one that had the previous record. So she's breaking records. It's very cool.
Well, I saw that Glendale, Arizona. They did something like they changed the name of the city for a day for her or something, and I was like, that's fucking stupid. that means nothing. Yeah, that means nothing, Glendale.
I guess if your legislature, small town politics, you can do whatever you want. I'm like,
it's small town, but yeah.
Does it go back? Does the day go back, or is it annual Taylor Swift Day?
Yeah, Glendale, Arizona changed its name to Swift City.
Changed its name. I thought they were giving her a day. I heard that wrong.
Swift City in honor of Taylor Swift's sold out shows.
What is that?
What does that mean? Like, how do you just change the name of a city for one day? Can we just like rename LA like Poop Town for a day?
I guess you'd have to take it to the person in charge.
I mean, it takes more to change your legal last name. You can just up and change a city.
What is that? I don't understand the significance of it.
I don't either.
Be like, we love Taylor. I guess. Well,
to
it
appreciate
must be,
her starting her tour there.
Because the city must benefit somehow from her performing in their city.
Yeah, well, it brings a lot of tourism, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people obviously stay at hotels or whatever it might be. So I'm sure for them it's like, this benefits us, I guess. I've never really thought about this
But could you imagine if you worked in the government and your boss came over and was just like, hey, need you to change the name of the town for one day? You would be pissed.
We're from Swift City.
And also, how pissed would you be if you lived there and you like hated Taylor Swift?
I know, that would be terrible.
And you're like, what the hell? I moved to Glendale to get away from her.
That would be terrible.
So anyway, I thought that was stupid.
Speaking about stupid, I was reading this about the Gen Z, you guys out there are doing this thing called BORGS.
You always come for Gen Z. I love it.
This is me mothering Gen Z now. You guys don't do this. We were talking about Red Bull and Sparks and all of that the other week. Or what was the other one? Four Loko and all that. Gen Z is doing this thing called BORGS. Okay?
BORGS?
Yes, their go-to booze. It stands for Blackout Rage Gallons.
No. Oh, wait, I think I've seen this.
Individual plastic gallon jugs.
Like milk jugs.
Yeah, and they fill it with that are filled with half a gallon of water, a 1/5 gallon of vodka, or tequila, a powdered electrolyte, and some kind of caffeine jolt like Red Bull.
No, hold on. A fifth of vodka?
So they're filled halfway with water.
Oh my God.
A fifth of vodka, a powdered electrolyte, and some kind of caffeine like Red Bull. The water and electrolytes is the reason the BORGS are touted as hangover free, which is not true.
Not true.
And this is what they were doing. Like, all these kids got hospitalized over St. Patrick's Day because this TikToks are going viral of them turning like their BORGS green and carrying them around and drinking this. Stop doing this, Gen Z.
Stop doing this.
Stop doing this. From responsible cocktail connoisseurs.
Stop doing this. You know what I did do last week, though? That was kind of lovely.
What's that?
This past Friday on St. Patrick's Day, when everyone was out there drinking BORGS.
BORGS.
In Eborg City.
Yep.
Nice. I said nice to myself. To myself. I said nice. I said, she's going for a sip. I'm not getting a compliment. I'm just complimenting myself. Hype myself up. That's what Imagine Dragons would say. Is I was doing a little tequila with lime juice on the rocks. Ooh. And I was like, I want this to be like a flavored marg, but I don't have any fruit or anything. A little dusting of cherry pomegranate crystal light powder in there.
Girl.
It was amazing.
That sounds fantastic.
It was a pomegranate margarita with no added sugar.
I'm saying you got a Y-Dad on your hands right there.
I mean, that's what's up. Oh, you guys. I mean, I can't wait for Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my God, the mid-season trailer dropped and shit is hitting every fan that you can possibly... There's shit-covered fans everywhere.
Shit-covered fans. Someone went into a fan store and threw doo-doo. It is... that trailer.
They know what they're doing.
The fact that they put creepy music at the end, which they've never done in a trailer for Vanderpump Rules, I was like, did M. Night Shyamalan direct this?
Fantastic. All of it's great.
Chills. Head to toe chills.
I don't watch things on repeat. And I watched this about 5 times.
You and I have sent each other so many TikToks and memes about it. It's crazy. Grace and I's conversations are, what time do you want a podcast? And then for the next week, it's just Vanderpump memes. And then what time do you want a podcast?
Because I don't currently know anyone else in my ether that I text with that enjoys the insanity. Not enjoys. Well, I guess enjoys. Fascinated. Glued to the unfolding drama IRL. Oh, man. And as a self-proclaimed devout Christian.
I know. You guys,
I can bless this
Grace's
show.
Wikipedia is interesting.
It's not anymore. Someone went in and deleted it. Thank you.
Did they put Satanist?
I haven't looked at it to see if it's been updated with anything, but I found out last week someone had tweeted at me that my Wikipedia said in my personal life that I was a self-proclaimed, quote, devout Christian. And I put that on my story being like, what's going on with this? Nora McInnery had messaged me being like, I saw that a while ago. And I was like, oh, okay, well, sure. Maybe there's some good ones out there. And I was like, how long has this been up
How
here?
long has that been up?
And I'm like, I just want to set the record straight. Not self-proclaimed devout Christian.
No.
Not Christian at all.
No.
Not any religious affiliation.
What if it changed and then like your Instagram followers went down to like by like half, and you're like, what? They
like,
thought I was their girl next door, Christian girl.
It did make me wonder.
Yeah.
How has this potentially affected things without my awareness?
Have you not gotten offers from Rated R Movies?
Right.
Wow. Well, you're a good little Christian girl.
Thank you so much.
Who's going to go home and eat some stew?
Oh, going to have a very wholesome night.
Oh.
God bless.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That got weird. I think
Is that the right one?
I don't know.